Wow, this was super ad hoc. This was very lastminute.com. I had the idea of putting together a webinar this morning as I was training myself. This morning was a leg day. Hands up if you train legs. Should be everybody, because we know that quality of life is very much affected by the strength of your femur, which is your thigh bone, and hips. So you drastically reduce your risk of hip fractures if you are strong in the hips and lower body. Of course, that requires you to do some lower body training. So by and large, this was me trying to put together a webinar and check the tech, because how many times have you gone to see that technology is on your side only to find out that unfortunately it is not? That's happened a few too many times to me. So here we are. I really last minute decided to put this together. I will run through it as though I had planned it, and let's see what unfolds. Let's see what happens. I'm not expecting anybody to join, and if you do, then I'm grateful for your presence. So if we haven't met, I'm Laura Phillips. Thank you for being here. And I run a high performance company. We work with business owners, entrepreneurs, and C-suite executives. That's primarily who we help. We help them to shift between 5 and 15 kilograms without fad diets or adding a 25th hour to their day. Because high level executives know that they do not have time to slow down. They do not have time to be sick or unwell. They, if anything, need to be able to squeeze out 16 hours of work in only 14 hours. So that is what we do at Super You. So you may be able to relate to a few of these things. If you find yourself 3 double shot espressos into the morning and you still feel tired because you're operating on only 5 hours of sleep, you work with other time zones, you yourself travel to those time zones, you might be able to relate to that feeling. You feel tired even if you do get a 6th or 7th hour of sleep. It's like you just cannot rest sufficiently. You feel like you know what to do, but building that rhythm and routine is just so challenging because your lifestyle requires so much of you. You wear so many hats across the business and you work with so many different people from different parts of the world that although you may know in principle what you ought to be doing, the doing is proving to be challenging. And what I've noticed in high-level executives and business owners is that they typically don't have a discipline problem. They, in fact, are very, very disciplined. They are A-grade students. They're very good at applying themselves. That's why they've got results in every other realm of life. They have a 14-hour workday across 3 time zone problem. And so the unique challenges that come with that are exactly what we work with. That's our bread and butter. That's how we help business owners move the needle on their health and fitness goals. So what we'll be covering today, it's a super brief introduction about me, how I help people, what my company does, actual real life results from business owners themselves, both in and outside of Singapore, and what we can do if this feels like the right fit for you. So a little bit of backstory. This picture in the white dress is from my 21st birthday. Now, not to give away too much, but this was over 10 years ago. And the photo on the right-hand side was from December 2024, if memory serves me correctly. Now, it's at least a year old. I would say my health and fitness is very similar now to what it was back then. I would say, if anything, mentally and emotionally, I'm even healthier today. So you can see a little bit of the difference there on the left-hand side. My cheeks are 90% of the real estate on my face. I dare say, over 30% body fat. in the image of the white dress, I would have been at least 14 kilograms heavier there than what I am today. I was not in a position to be exercising regularly. In fact, I was starting my recovery from a chronic injury. And that injury led me to gain all of that weight. It created a very different lifestyle and reality for me. And here's where I'm at today. So I've shed over 15 kilograms since then. I've dropped at least 18% body fat. I've learned how to back squat more than double my body weight. So I've back squatted 120 kilos at only 58 kilogram body weight. I can do weighted pull-ups. I've done dips with 20 kilos on me and weighted push-ups, just to name a few. It feels like only yesterday, but it was now 11 years ago. I traveled and moved, in fact, from Brisbane to Singapore with only $500 to my name, no job and no visa, and no real clue what I was doing. In fact, I was on paper supposed to move to Kuala Lumpur. So it was a sink or swim moment. I knew that I was talented. I knew I had skills that were in demand in this part of the world. Putting those skills to work and finding someone who supported me in using those skills was another challenge. And thankfully, a company took me on board in December 2015, and I haven't looked back. During my time in this industry, I've worked with world-class athletes, including world record holders, world champion finalists. I've worked with multiple 7- and 8-figure business owners, both in and outside of Singapore, just to name a few. And now I help these people create the same transformation that I created for myself. So the transformation that you have seen in me is exactly what I teach business owners, high-level executives, C-suite execs to do. We do not use fad diets or unsustainable methods. We work with what we got. We build in foods that you enjoy, and that's what makes it so sustainable, even with a chaotic schedule. So a little bit more background as to who I am and why you should listen to me. As I mentioned, I've learned how to back squat 120 kilograms at only 58 body weight. So that is a standard that we hold in the fitness industry, to be able to back squat 1.5 times your body weight. For women and men, but mostly women, is considered pretty good. And as you can see, 120 kilograms is more than double 58. As mentioned, I can do weighted pull-ups, push-ups, and dips. I personally am up at 4:45 most days, and I work with clients. I will either be with clients doing business admin or training myself between the hours of 4:45 a.m. and 9 p.m. would be an early day for me. Usually this is more like 10 p.m. I hold a degree in public health from the Queensland University of Technology. I graduated in 2010. I started on a scholarship basis when I was 16. So I started that before I actually finished high school. I am an INN certified health coach and ISSN certified sports nutritionist. So business, it's now been at least 14 years. We currently have over 60 active clients across all services. So our services also include Pilates, and we have Children's Strength and Conditioning Academy. We work with children between the ages of 8 and 14, tend to be the higher age bracket of the children we work with. And we teach them what the adults we train wish they knew back then. So a lot of our clients come to us mid-40s to early 50s, and they're like, I need to get my butt into gear. I need to build some strength. I need to learn how to do this, because if not now, then when? And instead of seeing that pattern time and time again, I wanted to build a system that allowed us to stop and change that generational pattern. So we started Children's Strength and Conditioning Academy. We teach children how to lift properly with good form For both athletes, so children who have one or two sports of focus, as well as children who don't identify as being sporty. And we work with the whole spectrum of children. So again, those who are athletes, those who are not, and everyone in between, they learn the fitness foundationals. So agility, power, plyometric work, strength, mobility, teamwork, coordination, proprioception, all those really important skills, which often aren't covered in PE classes. So that further explains our other services. We primarily work in one-to-one training with high-level execs. So that's the bulk of what we do. We have clients in and outside of Singapore, including Australia, the Middle East, and Europe, and a team of coaches here in Singapore. We're currently a team of, including myself, I believe we're a team of 5, including my assistant, we're a team of 6. And we've worked with some pretty incredible athletes. This is a quote that sticks with me time and time again. I think this really, it forms the undercurrent of what we do. So we create space for high achievers to explore discomfort that they're not yet familiar with, because to me, that's always the unlock. In creating any change, there has to be a willingness to confront discomfort, and it's not always physical. In fact, most of the time it is not. And when we create those space for that discomfort, we're then able to create systems which align with your day-to-day patterns, your week-to-week behaviors, your monthly, cycles of travel, and those create lifelong shifts. So I believe in turning up imperfectly, because if you're a perfectionist, then doing anything imperfectly is discomfort that you're probably avoiding. Okay, so that's just an example of how we work with people. The people we work with are very, very motivated, and they're A+ students. They just need a system which maps to their lifestyle. Often with frequent flyers and business owners, the fitness industry has let them down because it becomes a bit of a square peg in round hole situation. It works well if and when you're in town, and then everything starts to dismantle and crumble the moment you leave. That's where we're different. So we have systems that work both here and abroad. For people who are between countries, we also have hybrid methods. So that works perfectly across our client base. And the proof is in the pudding. I've been doing this is my 15th or 16th consecutive year of training, and I'm leaner, fitter, stronger, faster, sharper than I've ever been, because I practice what I preach. A typical day for me looks like this. So if you think, easy for you to say, you work in a gym, you're already in activewear, you're already in a gym. When you go to work, how hard can it be for you? I hear you. And let me give you a breakdown of what my typical day looks like. I'm up at 4:45 a.m. My first client will be 6 a.m. I am often back to back for 6, 8, 10 hours. I then eat, train myself. I call it torture. I torture myself. Then I'll be online for business admin and operations, coordinating whatever needs to be done with my assistant and the rest of my team who are in Europe. And then trying to wind down for the day around 9 p.m. I'm getting better at that, but I still have room to improve. Every single day, my nutrition remains a priority. I hit my protein targets. I hit my macros. I hit my hydration goals. If, by the way, you're probably dehydrated, take a sip of water, please. And of course, I have my weekly KPIs as well. So long days. And when I say every day looks like this, I mean public holidays, I mean Saturdays, and I mean Sundays. So for us to get results for our clients, we look at things from a very different lens. It's not a matter of you coming to the gym and working with us for an hour and then that's it. We develop systems that work with your lifestyle in mind, and then we integrate them based on your actual reality. And that's why our clients not only get results, but they continue to reap the benefits and compound those results week on week, month on month, quarter on quarter, and year on year. And again, it's without extreme approaches. So everything we do is sustainable. It's led by what your current lifestyle reality is, and then we work as a team to put our expertise and layer that into your current reality. So again, it's not a square peg in a round hole situation. We actually assess how you move. We assess your nutrition. We assess your lifestyle. And with our expertise laid into that, we make suggestions that are going to move the needle with the least amount of hands-on work as possible. As I mentioned, we are physically in Singapore, but our clients are everywhere. So for our face-to-face clients or our hybrid clients, we are in both Dempsey Hill and Church Street, and online for our international clients and hybrid. So we have a number of clients who pass through Singapore on a regular basis, or they're in Singapore 25 to 75% of the time, and the rest of the time they are traveling, in which case they're a hybrid client. So no matter what your travel patterns are, chances are we have a solution that will align with your needs. And as I mentioned, we meet you where you are. So whether that's in person, face to face, in the gym, or at a coffee shop to discuss nutrition, or online, completely online, we do Zoom sessions, and we do have an app whereby we can deploy workouts based on your training environment, what you have access to, your schedule. It works seamlessly. So that works really nicely for our online clients as well as our hybrid clients as well. And as mentioned, we do reformer Pilates, which is great if you're recovering from an ACL tear, a labral tear, an SC joint issue, Lord forbid, disc degeneration, L4, L5, L5S1. We've seen a number of back issues. So for executives, business owners, people who work long hours seated, we know that back issues are a thing, and that disc degeneration and compression, sciatica, can be a massive roadblock to exercise. And this is where the right approach makes all the difference. And this is where we might recommend a combination of Pilates and personal training, so resistance training, to get you back up and running and back to 100% in no time. As I touched on, children's strength and conditioning too. So our clients are business owners. They are doing the long hours. They are doing the long haul flights. They typically are C-suite execs and senior professionals, multiple 7 and 8 figure executives, people who travel between 25 and 75% of the time. So they'll be based in one country, but they'll spend perhaps half to 3/4 of the month in another country or visiting different cities, whether that's London, Sydney, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, just in Paris, just to name a few. They are high achievers. A lot of them are former athletes. A lot of them have been very active for a very large portion of their life. And that's why they're so good at their job. They are competitive. They want results. They are KPI driven, as are we. We're definitely not for everybody. We are a very acquired taste. We're not everyone's cup of tea. This is tea. This is matcha. So that's by design. We want to help business owners feel better in their own skin, feel more energetic, feel more robust, feel stronger than ever before, and know that their body is going to keep up with their busy lifestyle. We know that business owners do not want to be walking around feeling like they're having to drag their body behind them, asking their body to keep up. You do not have to. With the right approach, with tailored nutrition, with the right supplements, with the correct training and good technique in the gym, you can go 10 times faster than what you're currently going. But here's the thing. You'll never know that if you never begin. So this is where we, again, align our approach with your reality and your current lifestyle. The people we work with are completely amazing. So again, over 60 clients across the company, and they come from Australia, Middle East, Europe, and Singapore. Primarily in Asia, it's Singapore, some in Hong Kong too. And they are getting amazing results because they know how to turn up and keep turning up. So one example is of this amazing business owner who is a mother of 3. She's postmenopausal. She is, not to tell you too much, but she's over 60. She's more than 60 years young. To date, she's actually lost more than this. She's lost now over 12 centimeters from her waist and closer to 12 kilograms now. So these stats need to be updated. And she did this without starving. In fact, initially, it was almost challenging for her to eat enough. And she's doing a really, really, really good job. She's about to go on holiday. She's got everything prepared for that. She's really excited to be traveling and continue the momentum that she's built. I think this is testament to not only her hard work, but making progress as easy as possible. When you're trying 5 different strategies at once, you just end up throwing spaghetti at the wall and you don't move the needle at all. Okay. So when you have someone take that 1,000-foot view and understand what actually makes sense for you, then you stand a chance of getting somewhere. Helen has phenomenal results. So also a business owner, mother of 2. This is her results from only 3.5 months. I think you'll agree they're pretty amazing. 10 kilograms down. She has dropped an incredible 8% body fat. That is almost 4 inches off of her waist and 8.5 centimeters from her hips. Okay, again, not starving herself, not doing 5 a.m. boot camps or HIIT workouts, just doing things that make sense for her based on her bandwidth, based on her goals, based on how she currently eats, based on the training that she enjoys, based on her working hours and her schedule. Oh, beautiful words from Lauren. So Lauren managed to get her first pull-up, and in fact, she's now doing at least 6 of them. This is a huge goal for a lot of female entrepreneurs and business owners. They want to be able to do proper chest to ground push-ups and full pull-ups, and Lauren absolutely smashed that. I think she achieved that within 6 months of us working together. She also managed to completely eliminate digestive and gut issues, which is huge because we all know if you are trying to digest something that doesn't sit well with your stomach, then you feel fatigued, you feel slowed down, you feel just like you can't think. No one has time for that. So I'm very happy to say this is one of the most incredible transformations we've seen from so many different angles, from digestion to energy to performance in the gym. And I mean, it really speaks for itself. How incredible. Oh, and Charmaine. So Charmaine, based in Europe, is a 7-figure business owner. She had 17 social events in December and was freaking out. She's like, what am I going to do? I have 17 events to go to. And if you're a business owner, you often have business networking events that you can't always say no to. You have to be seen with a glass in your hand. And we navigated just perfectly because she still managed to improve her body composition that month. She saw change on the scales and in how her clothes fit, and we saw that reduction in body fat. So even though there were 17 social events, we still got results because we had an aligned approach. And again, if you're trying everything and nothing is sticking, you got to stop trying everything. And you have to start trying what makes sense for you. So amazing results for Charmaine. And Daisy, who is also a 7-figure business owner, mother of 4. She's 68 years young. And I'm very pleased to say she lost, in only 8 weeks, 6 centimeters from her waist, over 4% body fat. She now has no shoulder issues at all. So when you're on technology a lot, you find yourself in this position with your shoulders up towards your ears, shoulders rounded forwards. We get that dropped chin. We were looking very hunched, very much like Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And she now has no shoulder issues. We've almost completely eliminated her back issues. And in only 8 weeks, this is a very promising start for Daisy. So, will you be our next success story? This is how we get you results. So we build a system. The system, again, comprises of eating for performance, not for starvation. You probably aren't eating enough, and you're not eating enough of the right things because you don't have time to eat. So that's where we make nutrition really almost mindless, okay? Almost like too easy to do, that you're how did I not think of this sooner? We incorporate strength training for longevity. So again, no 5 a.m. boot camps, no HIIT workouts. You have too much on your plate for the day ahead. You have to be able to function. You can't spend half your day recovering from training. That's going to slow you down, not speed you up, okay? And we master the mindset. So chances are you have a phenomenal mindset, but what got you here won't get you there. And there's going to be some tweaks that we need to make, some shifts that need to take place in order to really take your performance to the next level, both in and outside of the boardroom. Let's be real, your business is your health is the bloodline to your business. It is not something to neglect. It is not something to be cheap on your inputs on. So it requires more from you, more time, more energy, but in the right way. Again, if you're trying everything, chances are you might as well try nothing, because you're just going to go round in circles or throw spaghetti at the wall. And that's where we come into the equation. Again, you don't need perfect days. When you're a business owner, when you're a senior executive, you don't have a perfect day because every day comes with so much unpredictability. What you need are options and systems that toggle and adjust based on what the day brings to you. Okay, so we need repeatable systems. And this is where we get really focused on big needle movers, big levers, such as protein, steps, resistance training, sleep, and hydration. Because although it sounds like nothing, these efforts in these areas really, really compound. Unfortunately, the fitness industry likes to overcomplicate things. It likes to sell you complexity because if they make you feel like you don't understand it, then you feel like, well, I need to buy into it. Honestly speaking, what you just need is a way to be more consistent and let these efforts compound on stuff that actually works. So imagine being able to shift before 2027, before next year. Imagine being able to shift between 5 and 15 kilograms without giving up social events, without forgoing the drinking, and without giving up foods that you actually enjoy. I eat dark chocolate every single day. I enjoy it. And I am 14 or under percent body fat every day of the year. Okay. Feeling like you're getting 16 hours of work out of 14. So those 14 hours that you work, imagine if they felt, instead of like an 8 out of 10 for intensity, imagine if that felt more like a 5. Because you have so much energy. You have so much focus. You have so much clarity. Imagine if you could go 20% faster. That's what we're going to get you. Imagine never having to start a new diet again. Okay. Imagine if you could just wave your hand at dieting and just build an approach to eating that feels good and makes sense to you. We're going to do that. Imagine being able to fit into clothes that you forgot you had. We often hold on to these items of clothing thinking, oh, I'll fit back into that next year or the year after. The next year rolls around and it still doesn't fit. In fact, it probably feels tighter. And now we're thinking about letting go of it and giving it up to somebody else. And before you know it, we need a new wardrobe, but our wardrobe now has 3 sizes in it instead of 1. Okay. We're going to get you a wardrobe that only has 1 size in it because you only need 1 size with these repeatable systems. Imagine having the energy to do longer days and more intense activities. Imagine the things you currently say no to because you think, I'm going to be too tired. I'm not going to have the energy. I don't know if I can fit that into my schedule. I don't want to think about that. That's going to be eliminated. You're going to be saying yes to new opportunities, and new opportunities are going to find you as a result of that. And of course, as a byproduct of that, your business performance is going to increase. and you're going to see it in your teams, how your teams show up, and how they perform too. So, our approach might be a good fit for you if you're based in Singapore or you spend a lot of time in Singapore. I'm talking at least 25, ideally 50% of the month. If you're a business owner or senior executive and you're very serious about health and you know that now is absolutely the time you must take action. You've tried other approaches and nothing's really stuck because it failed to recognize the unique challenges of your lifestyle. That's why we're really different. We put a ton of focus and effort into understanding your lifestyle and how it can serve you based off of that, not in spite of it. If you're ready to invest in yourself in the same way that you invest in your business, again, your health is the bloodline to your business. If you're not prioritizing it, you're leaving money on the table. And of course, if you've come this far, you're probably an A+ student. You are coachable. That's why we love you. That's why we love our clients. They're coachable. You're ready to implement, not just talk. You're ready to take action. If so, if I grabbed your attention today, this is what I want you to do next. I want you to send me the word application on LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn, I want you to send me the word application. I will send you a copy of our application form. I will also drop that into the comment section right now. Or not. Come on, technology. And if you submit an application form, we will get in touch with you. Should we be a good fit to work together? Take 2, sending that into the comments section. So feel free to click on that, fill it out. My assistant will then review it. If we're a good fit together, good fit to work together, she will reach out to you directly and coordinate the next steps. There you go. So it's in the comment section. But again, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, send me the word application in the direct messages. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can just put a comment on the video itself. I will get that across to you. And on Facebook, I think I'm streaming on Facebook as well. Same deal. Send me a direct message that says application. Just to recap, this is me on LinkedIn. On Instagram, should you be on Instagram, I'm at Team Laura Phillips, PHILLIPS. Physically in Singapore, we're across both Dempsey Hill and Church Street, which is Raffles Place. It's about a 4-minute walk from Raffles Place. We're also available online for our international clients. Typically, they're in Australia, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Paris, London, Hong Kong, and sprinkled throughout Europe too. I'm just finishing here with one of my favorite quotes. So thank you for being here. Being here is great. Let's take it a step further and go do something with that. Okay, send me the word application if you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, and we'll share that application form with you. I look forward to being a part of your transformation, and thank you so much for being here.